This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, welcome to Retarget Common. So as we know that Selenium 4 is going to launch very soon, maybe in September or October in the conference. So Selenium 4 has many major features which like uh, which are going to add more features to browser. We'll see that what are the new features are there, but yeah, this will be like a major changes, so that's why they have named it like Selenium 4. When their major change they release a new version, right? So as of now Selenium 6 alpha is going on, I think 6 or 7, I am not sure, but yeah, so but very soon we can expect that they will launch the full-fledged version of Selenium 4. So in this session Sachin Gupta, who will take the session on the new features in Selenium 4, which include the hands-on training, hands-on examples, and the proper codes and all. And the major feature of Selenium 4 is the Dev console, Chrome Dev tool. So which is generally implemented in only two browsers as of now, like Edge and Chrome. So he will also show that how much it is useful for us to use the Dev tool, and hopefully he will get some idea, and even this may be a better interview question also, like how much you are updated with the latest version. And many people are still using Selenium 2, so they also need to upgrade to Selenium 4 now. Not needed, but yeah, if they upgrade, so they will get the again new good features. So I would like to welcome Sachin, who will start presenting his screen now, and he will take the session now. Okay, Sachin, I am giving you the access so that you can start sharing your screen.
Thank you, Amod. Thanks for the great introduction.
Okay, so can you check if you can share your screen?
Yes, I am sharing. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, yes. I hope everyone can hear and can see his screen, right? Okay. So all the question answer session will be in the last of this session. So he will take all the examples and all the major features, and he will show the coding example as well. Okay. So all the question and answer will take in the last of this session. Okay. Fine. So Sachin, you can start now.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. So let me start. So this session related to Selenium 4 feature. Let me move on. So about me, my name is Sachin Gupta. I am having 6+ years experience in technical domain. Currently, I am working in Aptus as a senior software engineer QA. You can follow me on LinkedIn, GitHub, and YouTube. I am having my YouTube channel where I am keep posting new videos. Okay, let me start. So in Selenium 4 feature, today I am going to discuss about few key features. So we can see one is a W3C standardize. So Selenium 4 comes with the W3C W3C protocol. As we know, W3C means World Wide Web Consortium. It's a web standard. So WebDriver is using JSON wire protocol. So I'm talking about since Selenium 3. So for a long time, we are using JSON wire protocol. So in Selenium 4, this is not going to support. So however, there will be some scenario where Selenium still provide mechanism to use former protocol. So like we can see still some companies, they will use like old mechanism, like old from driver. Then those scenarios should not stop to run in Selenium 4. So still they are going to support using by some different mechanism. So new protocol called WebDriver W3C. The main difference is how you create a new session and you can do element interaction using the Action API. So the main difference in the Action API, now we can do multiple actions simultaneously. Example, we can do multi-touch action. Also, we can press two keys at the same time, and same we can do zoom in. So like this is a feature we will get in Selenium 4. And also we can expect great benefit in terms of stability of tests in different browser because they all implement the same standard. Okay, hope it's clear. Let me move forward. And also I'm going to discuss like relative locator. So I'll cover in next slide, and I'll discuss about capturing screenshot for a web element, and I will show you how we can open new window and new tab using my Cilium 4, and also I'll show you like Chrome Dip tool. So let me move forward. So in Chrome Dip tool feature, I'm going to demonstrate today how to get console logs and how to open insecure website. If any website having some certificate issue, then how we can handle, and how to intercept the network, like how can we block any URL, and how to emulate network like latency, upload and download speed, and how can we emulate network like online and offline, how can we handle those things. And also I'll discuss like how can we emulate geolocation. Let me move forward. So in Cilium 3 we can see like Chrome driver and Edge driver, it is extend remote web driver. Okay, so
Sachin,
we
sorry
can
to
see.
stop you. Here I want to add one point for W3C. So like for the people for whom W3 is new, so actually W3C is a web standard, okay, where they have defined some standard which says that a particular website should look and work in the same way in all the web browsers. It should not be like in Chrome you are showing it something and in Firefox you are showing it something. So W3C defines some standard where where the same URL will look and feel will be the same in all across all the browsers. So that is called W3C standard. That is a major thing, and there are many other standards as well, which are now followed completely by WebDriver. Okay. Yes, Sachin, please.
Yeah, thanks Amut for adding this point. Yeah, good. So I was talking about Chrome driver and Edge driver extend remote web driver. We can see this is a screenshot I have captured from Cilium 3. So we can see here this is a class Chrome driver extend remote web driver. And also we can see here Edge driver extend remote web driver. Okay, let me move forward. So in Cilium 4, we can see like Chrome driver and Edge driver extend Chromium driver and Chromium driver extend remote web driver. So here we can see Chromium driver extend Chromium driver, and we can see here Edge driver extend Chromium driver. So this is a new class Chromium driver which has been introduced in Cilium 4. So the purpose of this class to provide support for the Chrome dip tool. So many methods we are going to use from this class Chromium driver. Let me move forward. So Chromium driver class. So what is this class? So in Chromium driver class, it extend remote web driver, and this class having many methods. So those methods are, we can see here get cast issue message, and we can see here get cast syncs. So there are a couple of methods. What today demo we are going to see how we can use this get dip tool. So dip tool feature of the Chrome dip tools I'm going to demonstrate today. Let me move forward. So first topic I'm going to discuss what is a relative locator and how can we use this locator. And class name is a relative locator from where game start, from where we are going to use relative locator. So let me show you few methods of the relative locators. So here we can see here there are a couple of methods we can use like above, below, near, and to left, to right. So here we can see two methods. Those are method overloading. So one method we can pass y locator, and other we can pass the web element. Okay, let me move forward. So there is a one important point. We cannot use a relative locator in PS factory @find by annotation, because in PS factory we have to pass like some static web element. We cannot pass because this relative locator it is uh, so it is generating at the runtime. So hence we cannot use relative locator in find by annotation. Let me move forward. Okay, let me show you a demo how we can use it.
Uh,
Let-
Sachin, let me add one point here.
yeah,
Like actually the major purpose of introducing this relative one. So if you see that in XPath also we have something called absolute or relative. So when you talk about absolute means you are coming from beginning, right, from to a particular node. So that is called absolute. But if you start from relative means you are taking some reference or like slash slash a, that means any anchor. Okay, but if you want to come to a particular anchor tag from the beginning, then you need to start from slash html and all. So that is called absolute, and when we start from between, that is called relative. So here also many times we come up with some problem where we are not able to find some web element uniquely, right? Every time we need to give some reference. Okay, use this reference, then find this one. It is mostly used in web tables, right? Suppose in there are multiple rows and I want that the book name is something Java, then only I need to pick the author name, right? So this is called something dependent, right? So on those places, this type of relative locators will help you a lot if you want to go above or nearby whatever you have. So you can use those locators there. So this is the major advantage will be this relative locators. So Sachin will show you one example which will help you to understand how we can use it. Okay, yeah, please Sachin.
Okay, both. I would like to also add one more point here. So like in Xpath, we can see we are using the following sibling. So we are navigating from parent to child, child to parent. So those things we can handle using my relative locator. Okay, let me show you how we can do. So let me open this Eclipse. So Eclipse, I'm using Alpha 5 version. So current version is Alpha 6, but I'm using Alpha 5 because Alpha 6 having some issues. So that's why I'm using Alpha 5 here. So let me open Readable Locator. So how we can use? Let me open this website first. So this is the web portal. Okay, so assume I'm going to fill some entry here, username. I'm going to enter something like hello. So assume we are unable to find the locator, or like we are able to find the locator, but that locator matching with password and this. So just I am assuming I am unable to find out locator. Then how we can leverage relative locator feature here? So what I can say here, click a element which is above from password field and below from something sign in, or we can use like one way as well. So click a field which is above from password. So we can use like two-way or single way. So let me show you what is let me inspect, then I'll show you how we can write a relative locator in the real time. So what is a tag? The tag name is a input. Okay, now let me switch to Eclipse. So let me explain this code first. So here I am just set up Chrome driver. So I'm using WebDriver Manager, and here you can see here WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Here I'm sorry. Here I'm maximizing the window, and here I'm using implicit wait, and this is a URL I'm going to launch. And here I'm using some sleep bait. So this is not the best practice. Just because of the demo, I'm using this hardcode wait, so that visibility would be good when I'm executing this script. So now let me show you how can we write a relative locator driver. So everything would be same. So earlier, what we have to do, we used to do like, let me show you by dot xpath. So this is a syntax we were using earlier. So what we have to do here, just called relative locator class dot bit tag name. So this is a, you have to pass the tag where you're going to perform the action. So I'm going to perform action here, username. And what is a tag? Tag is an input. You can see here input. So I'll pass here input, and I'm going to take the reference of this field password. Can anyone mute? I think. Okay, thank you. So password, this is a password field. So here I am having already. So here we can see here type is equal to password, name equal to password. So I'll use reference for this password. So what I'll say, click this field which is above from here I'm passing this locator, and here I can say password, and here I can perform the action. I can say click or send, whatever. And sometime if you're facing issue, like if it is not working, then you can use two locator. So how we can use? So here you can see, here we can use multiple method. We can call multiple method because this is the builder pattern. So we can see here like driver.manage.window.maximize. So similar way we can use it here. So I'm going to use one more reference here, dot below. So first I am saying perform action this tag input, which is above from this password field and below from sign in. So I think I'm having this locator already. So this is a locator. You can see this field. So let me add by dot xpath. Let me move to new line. And here I can pass something send keys. I can pass something hello. So this is a syntax. This is how we can write the relative locator. Okay, let me comment out this line because this line is already exist here. Similar we can see here. So find element relative locator dot bit tag name. Just we are going to perform action here input tag, which is above from password, which is above from this locator, and which is below from this sign in button, and there we are going to pass send keys, learn automation. And let me move forward. So here I am just adding some wait 3 seconds, and driver.find element is a simple locator I am using by name, and I am setting this password field here. And now I have to click the sign in button. So for sign in, I'm using a relative locator. So we can see here find element relative locator dot bit tag name and input dot below password dot click, and which is below from password. So which is below from sign in. If you come here, if you see sign in, so here you can see this is input tag. So perform action on the input tag, which is just below from password, which is just below from password. And here I am doing some assertion. Okay, let me execute and we'll see. So web page is going to open. I am using Chrome Driver 83 version, and just launch the web page. And now it will enter username and password. So username and clicking, we are using relative locator here, and it will perform the click action on sign in button. Sign in button. So it clicked. So sign in. So I'm not closing. So let me close this. So this is a one example. We have seen this above and below. Let me show you one more example where we can use left and right. How we can use. So let me close this.
Sachin,
Yeah,
let me add one point there. So,
sure.
people, if you are confusing with the syntax, okay, so you are already familiar with this type of tense syntax when you maximize the window or when you apply the implicit weight, right? So we write something like driver.manage.window.maximize, right? So we know, if you have seen my post, I've explained there how this builder pattern is implemented there. Okay, like there are multiple inner interfaces from where you can call these methods continuously. So like that's only it is. Here we have relative locators where we have one method, static method, and from there it start like there's one inner class that you call relative by, and from that you can start using, you can change any method like above, below, near. So like this you can create your own surrounding, right? And where you can easily locate the element. So like this it is. Okay. Yes.
And
Please.
and there is no limit. You can call multiple times. This is like a builder pattern. So if I want to call 100 times, I will able to call. Okay, so let me move forward to next example. So we have seen like
Hello,
above.
Sachin. Hello.
Yes, yes.
I have one doubt here. You have
So
written the script like the driver dot find element with relative locator dot with tag name, no? So with the tag name is a method under relative locator class, no? So can we use like with ID and all the locators which we were using for the Selenium 3.0? Is that allowed?
Yes, yes.
yes,
After that, after the relative locator
yes.
and with the
Hmm.
tag name, after that you can do everything.
No,
We
no,
can
no.
use.
In relative locator dot with tag name you have
No,
written, no?
there's only one.
So in
There's
case
only
if
No,
one
no,
tag name is not there, then I can go for other locators
no,
also,
no.
no?
So
tag name will be there.
every element definitely will have one tag name.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you
yeah,
so you cannot pass. So this method you have to
yeah, yeah,
explicitly use only the tag name. You cannot use any other thing here.
yeah. I wanted to know that one. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you so
Okay,
much. Okay.
let me close this. Let me show you one more example here. So everything is same here. So this is a main thing here. Okay, let me go here. So what I am going to perform here. So here you can see here. Now earlier we have seen example for the input tag. Now this is an anchor tag. So what I'm saying here, perform an action to this anchor tag which is left from this support link and right from sign on button. So what does it mean? So this means is perform perform one anchor tag which is left from support. Where is the support? This is a support link. So left is register and right from sign on and right from sign on. So this is a register. So when I will execute this script, so it should click on this register button automatically. And after this, I am asserting some element. So this is the test case here. So let me execute. So webpage is going to open. So here we are using reliable locator left and right concept. So it should click on register link anchor tag. So it click, we can see. So let me close this. I am not closing my script. Okay. So relative locator I have covered. So if you have any doubt, just note down. We will discuss at the last in the Q&A session. So let me move forward to slide. So next topic is screenshot an element. So now we can capture the screenshot for a web element instead of complete visual page. So the size would be less than MB, so it would be in KB. So what is the benefit uh, for this screenshot in Cilium 4? So now we can see like in Cilium 3, whenever we are capturing the screenshot, the size would, would be like sometime MB or sometime KB is 1000 KB or 100 KB is something. But here we will see like 1 KB, 2 KB, 3 KB, a maximum 10 KB size for a for a particular element. So like what is the problem earlier? So like if you are using the extent report, right? So some people they are capturing the screenshot in the report. So what is happening if you today you are having the 100 test cases, tomorrow you will have 500 and 1000, 2000, 5000. So what happen? Your report size will be increased if you keep adding big screenshots. So like sometime you will face the challenges like your Outlook is not supporting to send the report because the size is bigger. It's a bulky size of the report. So like that time you can face those challenges. So now in Cilium 4 we can capture the screenshot for a particular element. So like this is the error, so we can capture screenshot for this particular error, not uh, not the whole page. And we can also capture screenshot for like processing element, loading element, something like this. Let me move forward. Let me show you the demo. Let me close this.
So let me add one more point, Sachin here.
Yes.
Like suppose sometime we need to just verify an error message displayed or not, right? So instead of capturing the whole page, right, the whole web page, okay, so we can capture that particular error message screenshot. Okay, so it will be like it will save our like it will be like it will not be the heavy size, it will be lesser size only. as Sachin mentioned. And like you'll get so many scenarios where you just need to take the screenshot of a particular wave element, not the everything. Like suppose when you are putting the first name or last name empty and try to click on submit, so those buttons should be highlighted in red. Okay, so you just need to capture those part. Okay, so on those scenarios we can use this particular feature of Selenium 4. Yes, Sachin, please.
Thanks, Amod.
Are we using it to capture the test logs? I mean, in case of positive scenarios also?
What's the question?
Are we using this feature to capture the positive scenarios? I mean, positive. I mean to say in the form of test logs.
See,
No,
screenshot is nothing
no.
like you need to take only on failure. A screenshot is a proof of your testing, correct? So whenever you see that this particular step should have a proof, you should take a screenshot. Okay, so wherever you want, this is just functionality to capture a screenshot of a web element, and wherever you are calling or wherever you want to use it, you can use it. It's not like positive or negative scenarios. Okay.
Okay,
No,
yeah, thank you.
so if you want to leverage positive, negative, then you can leverage, right? Positive scenario, like if you're submitting any form, right? And you're getting like successfully message. This is a positive scenario. And sometime like your application, it is, if you're executing something in your application and it can occur some problem, like it can throw some error sometime, then you can capture those error as well, right? So you can leverage in both scenarios. So
Okay,
let
yeah.
me show you, yeah. So let me show you how you can leverage this feature. So this is the before class setting the driver, and here I'm going to launch this Indian Railway website IRCTC. Just I picked some random website. Okay, here implicit wait I'm using. Okay, let me open first this, then I'll explain. So this is the web page. It will load, and in this web page, I'm not going to capture a screenshot for the whole page. So I am just capturing screenshot for this logo, Indian Railway logo. Okay, so let me show you how I'm doing here. So this here I am launching the website. Here I am using implicit wait, and here driver.find element. So this is a locator, CSS locator of this image. So this is a web element, and here we can use like web element logo irctc dot get screenshot as this is a method. So this is a new method in Selenium 4. You can use it, and output type is a file. We will get type as a src, is a reference variable, and this image I am storing this folder screenshot. So somewhere, yeah, this is right now blank. We can see here there is no image. So let me execute. We will see it will capture logo of IRCTC website, Indian Railway. So browser is going to launch, and it's loading. Now we will maximize. Okay, I'm not using maximize. Okay, so it has captured the screenshot and it closed. So let me refresh this folder. So here we can see here it just captured the screenshot for that logo instead of the whole page. And if you see the size, it would be in KB property, and we can see here 7.7 KB. The size is very small size, right? If you're capturing the whole page screenshot, the size would be in like 100 KB or more than that. Okay, let me close this. Let me move forward. So open new window and tab. So this is a one more new feature in Selenium 4. Now we can handle like multiple tab and multiple windows using by Selenium 4. So earlier in Selenium 3, we have to write, lots of code. Earlier we are using like keys, right? Control and switch from one key to one tab to other tab. So earlier we are using like keys feature. So in Selenium 3, it's a very simple. You have to use 2 lines code, not more than that. And you can handle multiple tab and multiple window. Also we can switch from one tab to other tab. We are having that much control. So let me move forward. So here we can see, here we can open multiple tabs. So here you can see first tab, second tab, third, fourth. So this way you can open multiple tab and different URLs. And same way you can open multiple windows. So first, second, third, 3 windows open in this screenshot we can see here. Let me move forward. Let me show you the demo. So this is a piece of code. So the code is little big, so I'll explain it. So in this code, I am going to launch 2 website. So first it will open Google, and other one, this is a new tools.demo AUT, so what I have shown in my first test case. And the same web portal again I am opening, but different web page, registration page. Okay, so 3 times, first, second, third, 3 times it will open. And here I am setting driver. I am maximizing the window using implicit wait. And here, let me come here. So first I will launch here URL first, google.in. So first it will open Google website, and in Google I am finding the element for the search text box. So this search text box element. So where in search I am searching this keyword new tools.demo AUT, and I am pressing enter key, and after this I am finding the element. So what I'm doing here, let me open and let me show you. So something I'm doing this, I'm opening Google page and I'm searching this keyword, and after this I am capturing this result. In result I am searching this demoaot.com. It is coming or not. If it is coming, then I am going to open this portal into the new tab. So let me go this code. So here I am verifying. If in search result, if it is coming like this demoaot.com, so here verification point equal to domain name. So this I'm just verifying here. And if it is matching in the search result, then I'm making flag true. If this flag true, then I am going to open new tab. So this is a main picture start here. So open new tab. So this is a new code here. So this is I create one custom method. So let me open this. This is a main method in Selenium 4 to open the new tab. So driver dot switch to new window, and here you have to use window type dot tab. So here you are having 2 enum. One we can pass tab and one we can pass window. If we are passing this tab, then tab will open. If you're passing window, then window will open. And here I am passing get URL. So this is a method I created. So where I'm passing driver and URL, and this URL I'm opening here in new tab. Let me move back. So I am adding here 2-second wait, and this is a similar code what I explained in relative locator. So just I am login into the portal. So after login, I am opening one more tab. So so new tab, it is a registration page. So here you can see the similar web portal but registration page. So when we are login here, demo UAT, let me click here. So we can see a sign on. So when we are login, then it will change to sign off something. Let me show you. So right now we can see sign on. So one in, then this will change to sign off. And what I'm doing, I am opening one more time again this URL into the new tab. So what I'm expecting here, it should come here sign off, because I'm verifying the session should be active. So here you can see login session. So here I am verifying the session. I am opening again one more tab. The code is similar. Opening new tab, and here I am passing this URL, and here if you go here, asset, I am just verifying the sign off. It should come the sign off, and here I am using 3-second celebrate and switch to respective window. So what I'm doing here? So now here you will see the 3 tab will open. First Google, and second this tab, and third this tab, and one we will have here Google. So this way. So from here I'll switch to this tab, and here I'll refresh this page, then I'll go last tab, then it will close, then it will switch to second tab, it will close, then it will go to last tab, it will be closed. So now I'll show you the code how we are switching here. So this is a custom method. So here I am passing the window number. So window number mean this would be 0, this 1, this 2, 0, 1, 2. This is like sequence. So I am going to switch to first window. So the here I am passing 0, and here you see here get window handles. It will return all window in a format of set of string. Now this I am converting to array list as a string type, and from here I am switching to 0 index window. This is the code. So after switching, I am refreshing the web page. From here again I'll switch back to the last one, and there I will close that window. So closing is a similar code as a switching, and here last I'm using this close method. So now last tab will be closed, and from here I am switching to the second tab, and second tab closing here, and at last switching to the first tab, and first tab is closing. So let me execute, you will see. So here I'm using some extent manager. So this is I'm using TestNG listener. So let me execute this from TestNG XML, otherwise it will be fail. Here I'm using listeners. So I am going to open new tab class. So browser is going to open. So Google open. So here it is searching one keyword. It is verifying demo.aut.com. It verified. It opened new portal, new tools.demo.aut. It is login here, and here we are using relative locator for login. And here we can see it is came sign off. It will open one more tab where I'm verifying this sign off should be there, not sign in. And from here it will switch to first tab. First tab is a Google. It will refresh this page. It is refreshing. Now it will switch again last tab. Last tab, now it will be closed. Now this page will close. Now last page, last tab will be closed. Okay, test is completed, and here we can see all step got passed. So we have seen the example for the new tab. So similar, I'll show you how can we handle in multiple window. So let me open the class, open new window. So code is similar. There is no changes for as similar to the new tab, and the difference is only the one method. Open new window. So if I click here, so earlier I was calling here window tab, sorry, window type dot tab, and here I am calling window type dot window. So this is the change here. Nothing. Everything is same. Let's open one more time. So everything is same. No difference at all. So let me execute this test case. So here I am going to run open new window class. So this time we will see this similar scenario in multiple windows. So browser is going to open. So first time it will open Google and it will search one keyword here and it will verify in the search result the portal is coming or not. It's verified. Now it will open different window. Here it is login, and here it open one more window. We can see here one more window, registration page. From here it will switch to the first window and it will refresh here. It refreshed, and now it will switch to the last window. Last window will be closed, and now it will switch to the second window. Second window will be closed, and in last window will be closed. So task is completed. Everything is passed here. Okay, let me close everything. Let me come back to this PPT. Okay, so next topic I am going to demonstrate the console logs. So it's a DipTool feature. How can we get the console logs from the Chrome browser? So we can get console logs using by Selenium 4 feature. So this is we can see here, this is like DipTool. In DipTool we can see the console logs. So this console logs we can read using by Selenium 4 feature. So let me show you a demo how can we do this. So in this scenario I am going to use this Chromium driver class. So here Chromium driver I am setting here WebDriver, and here you can see here DipTools. So DipTools, it is coming from Chromium driver. Let me open this Chromium driver class, and here I am going to use DipTools feature here, and here few things I want to explain. So here if you want to use DipTools feature, so you have to cast your driver to Chrome driver. It is coming from Chromium driver. So here I'm using WebDriver reference. WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Then you have to cast this driver to Chrome driver. Otherwise you cannot use DipTools feature. If you want to use without casting, then you have to write Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver instead of WebDriver. So here you can see here I am using get DipTools. Return type would be DipTools, and this is a reference variable DipTool. From DipTool you have to create session. So create session is one method. So after creating the session, you have to enable the logs. So how we can be enable diptool.send, and here you have to pass log.enable. So here we are enabling the logs to read from the console logs. And here this is a listener. So this is a listener class which will keep list. So this is a listener, so which will keep store all the console logs. So here you have to pass log.entry edit. So here you can pass any variable, and here this is a stream API of Java. So I'm using list. So in list I am capturing all the logs. So the syntax entry.get text. So this way you can capture all the logs into the list. So here this is a array list. So here we can see this add listener. So this will keep store the logs even after launching the browser. So the scope not on this line. The scope is more wider. So even it will keep store logs even after launching this portal. So I am using here one like the Hindu newspaper website, and after opening here I am using implicit wait and maximizing, and since I am storing all the logs into the list, so I am using here for each loop for printing all the logs, and also I am just verifying something into the console logs. If it contains, then I am making flag equal to true. So just I commented this break so that all log can print, and you can see like visibility how much logs it is reading. And here I am asset true. So let me execute, then we will see how it is reading all the logs. So web page is open here. It is opening the Hindu newspaper and it will maximize. Okay, I think I'm not using maximizing method. Okay, yeah, I'm using. Okay, so just it close at the last. So we will see in the console log in the console. So here we can see here it read all the console logs here. So here console logs here you can see here. So this is how we can capture the console logs using by Selenium 4 feature. So this is a piece of code. So here if you're using div tool, then you have to cast driver to com driver, and from you have to create the session, and from you have to enable the logs. From there you have to use add listener, and in listener you can either you can print directly here or you can hold into the list. This is how we can hold into the list, and we can verify any console from this list. This way I am doing. Okay, let me move forward. So next topic, I am going to demonstrate Open Insecure website. So sometime we are
Uh,
seeing, yeah,
Sachin, let me add one point to previous functionality like console log. So many people will be confusing like what is the usage of capturing the console log. But yeah, like if you load any website and go to the console, you'll see that there are some RAID or some APIs which are returning 500 or 404, but you will not see any impact on UI actually. But internally at the back end, there are so many things which are like some images are not loaded or some APIs are not returning any result. So those things you may not experience in UI, but by seeing the console, you can see that something has went wrong. Okay, so like every time you capture this console logs and you can send all these who which are feeling like 500 or 404 some errors, so those type of console log we can capture and can send to developers. Okay, whenever I am accessing this website, so I encounter these problems, so you can look at those things. So this is the major usage of console log also. Like also if you see like many people will be using the console. See, like suppose you are hitting any like you are opening the URL but it is not loading the page. So generally we go to console, we see the network calls, which API has written 500 or something 404, whatever you have got it. Right? Through that also we examine, or through that also we try to find the some root cause, right? Like what happened wrong. So those type of things you can perform using these things. Okay, so this will also add feature to test your website properly through automation code, not only on the front end whatever you are seeing, but also from the like what API went wrong or which image didn't load properly, like these things. Okay, fine. Yeah, please Sachin, go ahead.
thanks Amol. Okay, so next topic I am going to demonstrate Open Insecure website. So sometime we are seeing like if any website having some certificate issue, then that website is not loading. So we can see a similar like we are getting this prompt, your connection is not private. So like then we have to go advanced and we have to proceed forcefully, then that web portal will open. So those type scenario we can easily handle in Selenium 4. If any portal having some certificate issue like expired or some they are using some wrong certificate, so those things we can easily handle in Selenium 4. So let me show you how we can handle this. Okay, so this is our one class, and here I'm going to use this portal. Let me open here, and here we can see here your connection is not private. So what I have to do, I have to go advanced and I have to click here proceed to untrusted root, then it will open. So no need to do those things. We can handle internally now using my Selenium 4 feature. let me show you how we can do. So here we have seen like we have to cast driver to Chrome driver is the same. So we are using this get div tools, then we have to create session, and here these are new things here. So devtool.send, you have to first enable the security. So here security.enable, here we are enabling the security to use to ignore the certificate. Then we can use security.set ignore certificate error. So if any web portal those are having some certificate issue, then just ignore it. So here I am passing it true. So just it will ignore. And here I am using implicit wait and here maximizing. Then we can launch the web portal. So it will load automatically. So let me execute. So web page is going to open, and this portal having some certificate issue, but still using my Cilium 4, we are able to open. So earlier we have seen like when I tried manually, then it was throwing here error. So here you can see error connection is not private, and using my Cilium 4, we are able to open this portal. This is how we can control it. Let me close. Okay, so this you have so 4 lines code you can see here. So we are able to handle easily. So let me move it again. So next topic, I am going to demonstrate intercept the network, block network. So how can we block network? So we can block network using my Cilium 4 feature. So we can see this is a one web portal, Amazon.in, Amazon website. And here you can see here, just I have intercept CSS along with the images. So here you can see here, page loaded, but page completely scrambled here. So let me show you demo how can we handle this. So here similar we can see here I'm using get div tools, casting driver, and here creating session, and here send. So in send method here we have to pass network.enable. So when you are passing enable, then you have to pass 3 parameter. So we can see here. So first max total buffer size, max resource buffer size, max post data size. So here I'm not passing anything, just I'm keeping the optional. You have to pass as a type of the optional. So I'm just keeping all the empty. Optional.empty, optional.empty. So all three are empty here. And next call, you have to pass network.set block URL, and you have to pass as a immutable list dot off. So what I'm saying, block. So here what I'm saying, block JPG, JPEG along and PNG along with CSS. So I'm blocking those things here. And after this, I'm maximizing the browser, and here I'm launching this page. So here this Amazon page of laptop category. So what I'll do, I'll just comment this line, or let me execute. You will see nothing will happen. This is without intercepting, without blocking the URL. So web page is opening here. So Amazon portal of here I am loading that laptop category, laptops. So if I scroll it down, here we can see everything is fine. So all the images, everything is in place. The web page loaded perfectly. So now if you have any requirement where you don't want to load some images, and if you want to just test like CSS is working fine or not, and some image JPG or PNG if you want to remove from, if you want to block, right? So we can leverage Cilium 4 feature of Chrome DevTools. So let me uncomment this line. So what I am doing here, so I am just blocking JPG, JPEG and PNG along with CSS. So let me execute. So web page is opening here, and this time I am blocking the URL of the images along with CSS. So we can see here, imagine page open, but the page is completely scrambled. Here you can see here CSS is not in place, and images, few images you will see, but you know, all images gone. You cannot see one single images. But sometimes some images is coming. I don't know whether those are coming because of like frames or something else. I don't have much idea about that. So still they are improving this API. So here we can see here we are not able to see a single images, and CSS, all CSS are scrambled. So see, you can see some images loaded. So here you can see here, if you go down, this below image is not coming. So and you can see the first one. So first time it was like this. So this is how we can block the URLs for images along with the CSS. Okay, let me close this. So here you have to use this 2 lines of code. So this is a common, if you're using div tools, you have to use like div tools and create session. So this is a 2 lines code you have to add here. Okay, let me move on. So next topic, I am going to show you how can we emulate network like latency, upload and download speed. How we can handle those things. So we can handle this manually as well using by Chrome profile, and this is a UI. So these things we can handle using my Selenium 4 feature now. No need to create any profile. So here we can pass like some download speed, upload speed, and latency. Here we can pass it, and if we are loading any web portal, and if we are like passing latencies like 10, so it is in millisecond. So it will take it will be slow, your application will be slow. And here you can set the upload speed and download. So this is manually, but we can handle using my Selenium 4 feature. So let me move forward. Let me show you how we can handle. So let me open this Chrome portal. So if you click here 3 dots, you can see here, and if you go more tools, developer tools, and in developer tools, if you go network, and if you click here online, here this is right now online. If you click on add, and if you click on add custom profile, so this is how you can create one profile, and here you can pass like download, and this would be in KB per second, and this is also upload, you can pass some value KB per second, and latency, it is in millisecond. So those things you can pass, and you can test performance of your application. If like if internet is down, if internet is slow, then how your application is performing. So those type scenarios you can handle using by this. So let me show you how can we handle using by Selenium 4 Chrome Div tool features. So let me open this. So here we can see here. So here is a similar things you can see here. Get div tools I'm using here. I'm casting drivers. I'm creating session, and here div tools are send. So in last example we have seen like we are passing here network.enable. So whenever we are calling this, so we have to pass the 3 parameter: max to buffer size, max resource buffer size, max post data size. So here in first max total buffer size, here I am passing 1 and 8 times 0, and other two parameter I am just keeping empty. And let me scroll it here, and one more parameter like devtool.send, and next line network.emulate network condition. This is one method you have to call. So in this you have to pass certain parameter. One offline, you can see here offline, latency, download throughput, upload throughput, connection type. So what is the first parameter? Offline. So first parameter is saying if you are passing false, then your portal will be open. If you're passing true, then web portal will not open. It will show like your connection is offline. Latency. So latency, I already told, latency is a type of millisecond. So I'm passing 5 millisecond here. You can see a 5. download, and here I am passing some download. So it is coming from data provider that I'll show you how I'm handling. And next is the upload. Upload, here we have to pass some value. And last is a we can pass connection type, cellular 4G. Let me show you here. And this would be typed as a optional. So if you come here, so here you can choose any network type like cellular 2G, cellular 3G, cellular 4G. So like if you have any requirement where you are going to perform action on 2G, so you can handle using my Cilium 4 feature. You can leverage this. So Ethernet, Wi-Fi, BiMax. So those are the network type. You can choose any one of them. So I'm using cellular 4G, and let me. So what I'm doing, so this scenario, I'm going to run with different download and upload speed. So here what I've done, I create one data provider. In data provider, there's a syntax. I hope everyone is aware. And in this syntax, so I am passing three data set. So first data set is saying 30,000, 15,000. So what does it mean? So here, if you see here, so first is a download speed. It will read as a download, and other was an upload speed. So what the mean of 30 second, 30,000. So 30,000, it's in KB. So it would be like 30 Mbps and 15 Mbps. So what does it mean? So I am setting 30 Mbps download speed and 15 Mbps upload speed. So first time, then it will load this web portal, and second time I am setting like 50 Mbps and 25 Mbps as an upload, and in last I am setting 60 Mbps download and 30 Mbps upload speed, and latency I am keeping 5 millisecond. So hope it's clear. So like some people are having some doubt like what is the latency. So latency, like it's a round trip time from browser to server. Okay, so let me execute this scenario, then you will see the magic, how we can handle those type scenarios. If you have like any requirement where you have to execute your test case with different network speed, like if you are having like 20 30 different, and if you want to test some performance, right, then you can test it. So let me execute, we will see. So test case is executing. So browser is going to open. So first time, so 5 millisecond is a latency, and 30 Mbps download, and 15 is the upload speed. So it is keep loading, you can see here. So just I have reduced the speed of the network, so it is keep loading. You can see here, it's still loading. It's still loading. It is still loading because I have reduced the speed of the network. So let's see how much time it will take. So those type scenarios we can leverage, like if we have any requirement like where we have to execute our escape with certain network speed, then we can leverage this Cilium 4 Chrome Dev Tool feature. So it's still loading. So now it finished. So second time 5 millisecond is a latency, and 50 Mbps download, and 25 Mbps is the upload speed. So it will be faster as compared to previous scenario. So it still is loading. Keep loading. Okay, it's completed. Now third scenario, it will be faster as compared to previous both scenarios. So here 60 Mbps download and 30 Mbps is a upload speed. So it will be faster as compared to previous two scenarios. Yes, we can see here. So now if I open my result, So here we can see here. Let me little maximize. So first scenario we can see here where I have passed 30 Mbps download and 15 is upload. So it took 63 seconds. And in second scenario I passed 50 Mbps download and 25 is upload. It took 37 seconds. So here 63, 37. In last I have set like 60 Mbps download and 30 is upload. So it took 22 seconds. So here we can see here 63, 37, 22 seconds. This is how we can handle. We can emulate the network. This is very cool feature. I really like it. Okay, so let me move forward. So here also we will see like how can we emulate network like online and offline. So if you have any requirement, so where you are going to verify like if internet is not there, then how your application is performing. Okay, so those type scenarios we can handle using by Cilium 4 feature. We can make it network offline. So manually we can also perform like here. If you go dip tools, here we can perform it manually. So let me show you how we can do it. So let me open this. So right now we can see here Google is opening. Okay, if I'm searching something like Selenium, okay, it is working. So what I'll do, I'm just disconnecting the network for this particular tab instance. How we can do? So go to click on three dots, go to more tools, developer tools, and if you go network, and here you can see say online. If I select here offline, so now that network disconnected for this particular tab. So if I click enter, you see no network. So this is how we can disconnect network manually, and same thing we can handle using Cilium for feature. How we can do? Let me show you. So this is the one class, test class, and here everything is same. So I'll come here. So get dip tools. I'm casting driver here, creating session, and emulate Chrome network. So this is the one method. So if you go this method, is a just down. So here I'm passing one parameter. This is like a type as a boolean. So we can pass true and false. So what is our new things what you have to add? So devtool.send. So just similar what we have seen here earlier. So in network.enable, where we have to pass max total buffer size, max resource buffer size, max post data size. So first tab I am passing 1, 8 times 0, and 2 parameters just I am keeping empty, optional.empty. And here if you see here emulate network, this is a similar method what we have seen in last scenario, where we have run our test case in different network speed. So this is the same method. There's no difference at all. So what I'm doing, the first parameter. So if I click, we can see here. If I keep here, so first parameter is saying offline. So offline mean if you're passing anything true, if you're setting anything true, boolean value, so network will be off automatically. So this is how we can handle. And second parameter, latency, download, upload speed, third, fourth, upload, and connection type. So here just I'm keeping 0. So I'm not changing anything, just I'm keeping as default. And last parameter I'm setting network as a 4G. So it's a similar method what we have seen in last scenario. So let me come up. So in this method I am passing true. So true means network will be off. So I'm going to open something. This is a one GitHub page of the Selenium changelogs, and so here, if you see here, so here we are disabling the internet. After disabling, I'm using listeners. So in listener, we do have one method like if your network is not working fine, if it is throwing some error, loading fail. So we can leverage this feature network dot loading fail. If something loading is failing, then you can use this log dot get error text. So when we are using this, whenever we are using this and we are stored into the list, so whenever network is off, then it will return this error automatically. Net colon ERR underscore internet underscore disconnected. So this I am verifying. If it is coming this, then test case will be passed. And I'm printing as well this error. So let me execute, then we will see. Okay, so what I'll show you. So first I will show you without disabling the network. Just I've commented this line. So web page is loading and it's loaded. It's a GitHub page of Selenium HQ, change log history, and it's loaded. So let me close. And this is the main scenario. So here I am disabling the network. So when I execute, so this time we will see like network is not there. So web page is going to open, web page open, and this time network disabled, no internet. Even internet, what happened? Okay, I'm using driver.close, so it closed. So we have seen like it open and it is saying no internet, even internet is there. Okay, this is how we can control the network. And if I, and we can see here in console. So here in add listener, it is keep folding all the logs. So whenever network is not there, so that time it will read this, it will throw this error net that colon error internet underscore disconnected. And this error I am setting here. If it is coming, then task will be passed. It pass here. So this is the piece of code we can handle. Okay, all right. So let me move forward. So in next scenario, I am going to discuss how can we emulate geolocation. So this is also very important feature of Selenium 4. So here we can emulate the geolocation. So let me move forward. So here we can see here, so I'm opening any website. This is a Citibank website, and I'm in India, but still it is saying you are in New York. It is loading the New York geolocation. How can we handle? So let me show you. Okay, so before class, I am just setting this Chrome driver setup, and here we can see here driver casting and using get dip tools, and here I'm creating session, and this is a test case, and in this test case we can see a dip tool.send, and here you have to use emulation.set geolocation override. So in this method, if you see here, so you have to pass three parameter: latitude, longitude, and accuracy. So I will add here few points. So whenever we are going to update any geolocation, so geolocation, then we have to set like, so every geolocation it is having two things, well, latitude and longitude. And so here we are just emulating in the background geo latitude and longitude. So right now I'm India, but still, however, I can set any country latitude and longitude. So here how can we do it? So here from where it is coming. So in this method, if you see here, so here we have to pass three parameters: latitude, longitude, and accuracy. So accuracy means how much, so here I'm passing 100% accuracy. Okay, and from where we are getting this value, so that I'll explain. So this is only one line code here, you can see here. So what I'll do, let me open first this website. So this is a Citibank web portal, and I have opened here Citibank location finder. So generally it will find out the ATM nearby your location. So right now I'm in Bangalore, and it is loading Bangalore map. So here we can see your Bangalore, and it's loading my current location. And my location is saying there are the 100 ATMs nearby you. So you can see here right now Bangalore. It is showing correct information. But sometime you have the requirement, I can take this Citibank. So like someone asks you, you have to test this website like Citibank exists. I'm taking this 100 country. So you have to test like 100 countries whether it is loading all the ATMs history or not. It is showing correct information or not. Then how you can test? So there are like some third-party tool you can like emulate geolocation, but now Selenium 4 itself providing uh, for emulating the location, emulating the geolocation. Okay, so let me open one more thing here, Google. So right now I'm in India. So what I want to see all the ATMs in New York City, US. So I'll say longitude and latitude of New York. Okay, so you can open any website, multiple website you will see here. So in New York City, USA, you will get the information here. So latitude is a 40.730610 and longitude minus 73.935242. So this value you will get from here. And from there you can capture these values and you can add in your code. So here you can see here -74. Let me see is correct or okay. I think value is like okay. So 40.730610. Okay, might be some website having different information. So I have captured some other web portal. So it's a minor changes we can see here. So -73. So if I open some other website, I don't know, it's a changing on daily basis or okay. Let's see in other web portal as well. Basis. Okay, so 40.712776. Okay, I can see it's a minor difference. So I don't have idea whether it's changing on daily basis. 597. Okay, so it's a very similar. Okay, so from where you can get value. So I'll take something this value. Okay, no problem. So I will replace here these values and other values this one. Okay, so let me explain one more time. So devtool.send, and here I'm using emulation.set geolocation override. And in this you have to pass the three parameter: one latitude, longitude, and accuracy. Latitude and longitude we can get it from Google. So just now I have shown you how we can get latitude longitude for any city. Okay, so just here I'm using New York City of US, and this value I'm passing here, latitude and longitude, and in last accuracy I'm keeping 100%. So what I'll do, I'll comment this line. Okay, it's commented already. Okay, so let me execute. Let's see what happened. So web page is going to open. So here Citibank website is opening, and the page is Citibank location finder. So where it will find all the ATMs or like branches of the Citibank based on your current location. So right now in Bangalore, So it is showing me Bangalore map, and it is showing me like 100 ATMs nearby your location. It is loading all ATMs. So here we can see here everything is fine. So now in next scenario we will see how can we emulate geolocation to the other city, other country as well. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, so now I am uncomment this line. So this time we will see it should load New York City map and it will display all the ATM of New York City. So let me execute. Even I'm in India, however, I am able to uh, emulate New York City geolocation using a Cilium 4 feature. So web portal is open. This is a Citibank website. It is a Citibank location finder web page where it will show all the branches or the ATM nearby your current city. So this time I have emulate geolocation of the New York City, USA. So this time it should load New York City map. So here you can see here it's already loaded. Just keep loading. Let it finish. Then we will see. Okay, it loaded. So first we will come here, New York. And here you can see here ATM 305 Broadway, New York City. So this is a map. So let me, so we can see here New York City name as well. So here we can see here. Oh, okay. Okay, you can see here New York City map. It loaded. So this is how we can emulate geolocation for any particular website. Okay, let me close. So this is the only single line code. So here emulation gets set geolocation, and here we can pass latitude and longitude, and accuracy 100%. Okay, let me move forward. Okay, so I have covered all the topics, whatever I said for today discussion. So now Q&A session. So guys, if you have any question, you can ask right now. So hope you would like this session.
Yeah, thank you, Sachin. I think you covered like all the major features of Selenium 4. So the main idea of this session was to introduce the new features of Selenium 4 to you so that you can go and explore more about it. And because these are going to launch itself, so we'll not find so many tutorials, or many tutorials will be incompleted, right? So now at least you can go and explore yourself, because you have some basic idea, you have some basic exposure of all those things, right? So yeah, if you have any question, you can ask now, or you can send out a mail, whatever, to the mail ID, whatever, from which you got this invitation, right? So you can send any question to that particular mail itself. Okay, or if you have any question now, you can ask now itself.
Hello, this is Subhakant here.
Yes, tell me.
Hello.
Yes, Shubhakam.
Actually, I joined late, a little bit late. Sorry, but did you cover? I think in Selenium 4 there is some enhancement also in the XPath, right? Did you cover that also? I mean, we didn't cover, because I think there are few methods being added in Selenium 4, right? For
So that
XPath
is
point
not,
of view.
yeah. No, actually, it's not only specific to XPath. It's like relative locators, where you
Yeah.
can locate some element with reference of some other elements. So above or before. So yeah, those things are covered. So I will upload this particular video on this particular channel, so you can refer it.
Okay.
So here's explained with the examples. So I hope there should be not any problem to understand those things.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
no,
have,
no, no.
you can. If you
Yeah.
face any problem,
Okay.
you can always send out a mail.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
if you have any doubt, you can reach out to me. You can mail me, or you can mail to Amod. So we
Yeah,
are
Amol.
ready to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sachin, this is Suraj here. Firstly, thanks Amod and Sachin for your time. Sachin, like you talked about like relative locator. In that relative locator, if there is a scenario coming up, like in the page factory, like we have our web elements already declared, and using that particular web element, and using the functions above, below, or left or right. So can I input those web elements that has been declared in the page factory?
Yes,
Can I call those elements inside that functions?
yes, you can
Yes,
use. You can use.
because it take the type of web element, right? So you can call
Yeah,
those methods.
yeah, I can
So
call.
like if
Okay.
you may have experienced some scenarios where the all the locators you cannot put in advance in the page factory or any page class. So at runtime you may need to get custom locators, right? So
True.
those type of
Yeah,
spaces you can use it easily. Okay.
yeah. Just for
So
usability. Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, what I want to share there. So like in Page Factory, right? We can say like at the rate find by. We can pass ID,
Yeah.
class name. So but we cannot use any. We cannot say like relative locator directly there.
Yeah. Got it.
So
Got it. Yeah.
because it is creating at the runtime. It is in dynamic in nature. And Page Factory we have to pass only static element. So your question, what you're asking, yes, we can leverage existing find by element. We can.
Okay. Like the function above or below, like it takes input as a web element only. The parameters type.
Right. So see, if I come here, so okay, yeah. So let me take this. So this is a overload. Okay. So if you see here, okay. So above. So if you are going to use above, so it is a overload method. So you can pass by or you can pass web element itself directly.
Okay. Okay.
If you are if you are if so in find by you must have like y element, so you can pass directly here. And if you are having any web element, so we can pass web element itself here.
Okay.
Okay, hope it's
Okay.
clear.
Yes, Jim. Thanks.
Okay, welcome. Okay, next question.
Hi, Amod and Suraj and all guys. Ram here. So I just have a one question. That am I audible?
Yeah, hi Ram, you're audible.
Yeah, yeah. So we are grabbing the properties from console, correct? Using Selenium
Right.
4. So I want to read some particular attribute. I already pinged Amod according to that because I want to like I want to read one reference number from my console. And how can I get that console? Means I need to get that console value and I put into my application. So how can it
Um,
be achieved?
maybe
So
you
Ram, right?
I don't. Okay, Sachin.
Okay, so let me so Ram, so so first you should know like from like you should know something, right? If you are reading like console logs, right, it will give you multiple console logs, not one logs. And from there you have to parse. You are saying you have to parse like some value, right? Correct me.
I mean, there is a response coming. I think I will explain you. Like I am giving 4 to 5 fields. I am clicking the save, and in the response, I am getting one more field which is not visible in UI, but it is there in the console. So I want to read that console value.
Yeah,
So
we
is
can
it
read.
possible?
It is possible. We can read.
But what I
So it will. Okay, Amutya, carry on.
Yeah, but what I think that maybe you need to read all the console, then from that log you need to filter it out.
Yes, right.
Uh,
You have to parse it.
because it will not. I don't think you can get something specific from console as of now. I'm not aware of the full functionality, but yeah, I think that you will get all the console. Then from like you get the strings, right? So from that string you get the required one. So like that you may need
So
to do. So you
so
just
Amod,
should try this one.
okay. Yeah.
You just try this one, like if it gives the whole logs or what, and then you can comment also. You can let us know also, like if it works really. But I don't see you can get the individual value or something from console directly. At least as
Okay.
of this version, whatever we know.
And so
Okay.
one more point I would like to add here. So like if you're going to parse anything, right, then you must know apart from that value something, right? Then you can parse it easily. Otherwise, it will
Sorry, I
be
can't get you. Means other than value in the sense?
other than value. Like I can say some attribute. Like if you're getting like I can give an example. Uh, it is saying like your website having something 1 2 3 4 value. Then next time you're getting some other log. So you can your website, right? So based on that keyword, you can capture that from the list, and from there you can parse it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can connect to Amod or me. So like if you are able to find if you're able to resolve that scenario, it's good. If not, then you can connect. We will see how we can resolve.
Okay. Aman, do you have any GitHub link on which you are
Yeah,
putting all
I
these codes?
yeah. So all code you can get it here. So if you go, so I think I gave you. I think you joined late.
Anyway, I
So
will share that GitHub link
yeah,
in
yeah.
description, so you can copy from there as well.
So Sachin Gupta IT, you can find out. So on YouTube as well. So like if anyone want looking like more detailed information, so you can go to the YouTube video. So I have added all the videos M4. So here you can get,
Okay.
yeah. So this is a repository Selenium automation. So here I have added all the code if you want to use.
Okay. It is Sachin Gupta IT, correct? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
right,
sure,
right.
sure. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks,
Okay.
Sachin and Amod.
No problem. So I think no more questions. Yeah, okay, fine. So I think no more questions. So we can wind up this session now. And most probably next session we're bringing some people who
Hello.
will explain the Docker.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So the session is free of cost, or we have to pay for the session?
Sorry.
So there's no charges. There's no charge. It's just free. This is for the community, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no charge.
And but
It is free and it will be free always. So there's nothing, no charge, no hidden
then
anything.
then you will teach everything in that Selenium.
No, it is like topic wise. I am bringing some good people like good trainers who can deliver topics, deliver session on some important topics and all. So the purpose of
Okay.
this like that. Not everything
Hmm.
will be covered, but yeah, but the major topics will be covered in these sessions.
Just like frameworks and all.
Yeah, yeah, major things.
Okay. Then how will I will get to you? Means I will directly connect to you.
I
Any
will I
contact
will
or
keep no, I will keep generally I send the mail, and also I keep posting in LinkedIn and Facebook
yes.
groups. So
Okay. Okay.
whatever source you get it today, from same source
Hmm.
you'll get again.
Okay. 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 Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay then, we are good. So we will be winding up. We will wind
Hello.
up this session now.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, I have one doubt regarding when I am running the code. During that time, debugger is not working. Then what might be the issue? In the Selenium version
De-
4.16.0.
Debugger is not
Select
working means
means suppose if we have to check any error, if we have to check any if we put any debugger point there, then
Mhm.
it won't stop there. The execution is continuous. It won't stop at the breakpoint.
so that is not same problem. That will be like something debugging style
This is the
problem.
Eclipse problem. So you have to
Eclipse
add
or
your
ID,
source
whatever
code.
you're using.
Yes.
Dep-
Then how we can handle that? Means if any idea you are having, or we should because we have to do the automation according to means sometimes we need that because during execution we don't what we say we don't know where the execution we have to stop at that moment, and we have to check how the process has gone,
No,
how
so
the
for that,
execution.
this is not explicitly related to Selenium here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that is a separate program. So still I want to add 2 points here. So you
Hmm.
can you can clean your project, or and you can add the
You should add the.
source code. So there's some issue. So you can Google it. You will find the solution. This is a normal
Okay.
problem.
Okay. No, because I have searched. I have searching from last 2 days. That is the concern that was I want to that I was asking. That is all. Means because I think I am using updated because the Eclipse has updated na, in June. So that why I updated that. That is, I think that might be the
So
problem, I guess.
you can send out a mail with the screenshots and to my mail ID. We'll see, because this is not related to actually Selenium. It's a problem with ID or something, or maybe you are doing something
Okay.
wrong with the debugging process. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you. We'll meet in next session.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thanks
Amol.
a lot for the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sachin and Amol.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.